No one summons a mechanic from Earth. Not unless something has gone catastrophically wrong. I was underneath a broken atmospheric hauler in New Jakarta when the sky tore open. Not metaphorically. Actually tore. A line of violet light split the clouds, and every device within 50 meters of me shorted out. My tools sparked. The hauler's engine died mid-diagnostic. Even my neural assistant blinked offline. Then the ship descended. It didn't burn through the atmosphere. It didn't roar. It simply arrived. Smooth. Silent. Controlled in a way that mocked physics. The craft hovered 10 meters above the broken concrete yard, all silver curves and seamless architecture. No thrusters. No visible engines. A door irised open, and a voice echoed inside my mind. Elias Vance, you will come with us. I did what any rational human would do. I laughed. Yeah? And if I don't? A pause. Then gravity turned off. For everyone but me. The workers around me floated upward in confusion, shouting, while I remained perfectly grounded. The message was clear. I wiped grease from my hands and sighed. Fine. But if this is about unpaid taxes, I swear. The ship swallowed me in light. When I woke, I wasn't in orbit. I wasn't in the solar system. The stars outside the panoramic window were wrong. They were too dense, too bright. Clusters layered upon clusters like spilled diamonds. A woman stood before me. Tall. Commanding. Draped in dark fabric that seemed woven from starlight itself. Her silver hair fell like liquid metal over one shoulder. Her eyes held galaxies. Not metaphorically. Actually swirling galaxies. You are Elias Vance, she said aloud this time. Last I checked, she studied me with clinical precision. I am Imperatrix Aileron Vexa, Supreme Sovereign of the Unified Spiral, Commander of the Celestial Armada, Arbiter of Systems, the most powerful woman in the galaxy. Of course you are, I muttered. Her expression didn't change. And I require one simple thing. I blinked. Okay. She stepped closer. You. Middled a problem no one could solve. I laughed. She didn't. I command fleets that eclipse suns, she continued. I hold authority over 12,000 inhabited systems. Entire species kneel when I speak. Sounds exhausting. Her gaze sharpened. And yet, I cannot repair my core. Now that got my attention. The central stellar regulator that powers my throne world is failing. It is older than most civilizations. It predates our recorded history. Then why not replace it? Because, she said softly, we do not understand how it was built. That silence lingered. Her people had conquered galaxies. But they couldn't fix their own heart. She gestured, and the floor beneath us became transparent. Below stretched a planet-wide city. At its center rose a structure like a vertical sun, an immense column of rotating energy and crystalline conduits plunging into the planetary mantle. That, she said, is the heart of Aurelian. It is dying. I folded my arms. And you abducted a human mechanic because... She turned to me fully. Because humans are reckless. Excuse me? You reverse engineer what you do not understand. You experiment without certainty. You break rules that other species consider sacred. I grinned. That's actually fair. She inclined her head. Our scientists refuse to tamper with it further. They fear destabilization. You, however, would poke it with a wrench and see what happens. Precisely. I walked to the window, studying the rotating energy column below. Why me? We studied your world, she said. You repaired an atmospheric grid using components never designed to interface. You stabilized a fusion line using analog controls when AI systems failed. I blinked. You've been spying. Of course. I sighed. All right. Show me the problem. The heart of Aurelian was not a machine. It was alive. At least it felt that way. As we descended into its core chamber, I felt vibration in my bones. The structure wasn't metallic, it was crystalline, organic, reactive. Energy pulsed in uneven waves through translucent veins that arched like ribs around a central sphere of condensed star matter. It was beautiful, and it was unstable. Your harmonics are off, I muttered. Aileron looked at me. You perceive that? I knelt near one of the crystalline conduits. It's not a mechanical system. It's resonant. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Explain. It's not powering the planet through brute force. It's syncing with it. Like a heartbeat. I tapped one of the conduits. The vibration stuttered. You're forcing energy output. Trying to stabilize by adding power. That is correct. Stop doing that. Her attendants gasped. Silence, she commanded. I looked at her. It's not dying from weakness. It's dying from stress. A long pause. Continue. I stood, pacing slowly. This thing was built to synchronize with something. A biological feedback loop. Whoever made it didn't design it as a generator. They designed it as a bonded system. Aileron's voice lowered. A bonded system. It needs a pilot. She stiffened. It has no control interface. It doesn't need one. I turned to face her. It needs a living neural anchor. The chamber went quiet. That is impossible, one of her scientists whispered. The energy would disintegrate organic matter. Not if the resonance matches, I said. Aileron stared at me. You believe it requires connection? Yes. She stepped closer. And you believe you can form it? I shook my head. No. The chamber shifted uneasily. I can't, I said calmly. But you can. Silence fell like gravity. Her eyes widened almost imperceptibly. Why would you assume that? Because you're already linked to it. She inhaled sharply. The conduits flickered brighter. I observed your microreactions when we entered. I continued. Your breathing syncs unconsciously with its pulse. Your neural signature probably aligns closer than anyone else on this planet. One of the scientists spoke softly. The Imperatrix was born within the resonance chamber during a celestial alignment. I looked at her. Well, that explains a lot. Her composure cracked for a fraction of a second. You suggest that I merge with it. I suggest you stop ruling from above it. Her jaw tightened. I am the sovereign of the spiral. And it's still dying. That hit. Hard. The choice. We stood alone in the inner chamber. No scientists. No guards. Just her. And me. And the pulsing heart of a world. If I attempt this, she said quietly, and fail, the core collapses. And Virelian burns. Yeah. She turned toward the massive sphere of star matter. I command fleets that reshape galaxies. Sure. I have defeated armadas. Not arguing. I have never feared anything. I stepped beside her. Good time to start. She almost smiled. Almost. Why are you helping me? She asked. I shrugged. Because under all that power, you look tired. That landed. Her gaze softened in a way that no court chronicler would ever record. You were correct about one thing, she said. And what's that? You are reckless. I grinned. Best compliment I've had all week. She stepped toward the core. Energy lashed outward like solar flares. Wait, I said, grabbing her wrist. She looked at my hand, then at me. You don't do this alone. You cannot survive the exposure. Probably not. A pause. You're not bonding to it without a stabilizer. Her voice lowered. You intend to anchor me. Exactly. She studied me. You would risk death for my world. For you, I corrected. Something shifted in her eyes then. Not power. Not authority. Something far more dangerous. Trust. Climax, the bond. The moment we stepped into the resonance field, reality fractured. Sound became light. Light became pressure. Energy tore through my nervous system like liquid fire. I felt her mind brush mine. Vast. Ancient. Disciplined. And beneath it, lonely. The core roared. It wasn't malfunctioning. It was screaming. For connection. Aileron reached for it. Not with her hands. With her mind. I anchored her, holding onto her consciousness like gripping a star in a hurricane. The energy tried to rip us apart. I felt my heartbeat sync with hers. Then with the core. Pulse. 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 The instability smoothed. The violent oscillations calmed. The core dimmed from chaotic flare to steady radiance. Her voice echoed inside me. Elias, still here? I gasped. The pain means it's working. The bond deepened. The heart of Aurelian stabilized. Energy flowed evenly through the planetary lattice. The chamber stopped shaking. Silence returned. Soft. Balanced. Alive. Then I collapsed. Ending the one simple thing. When I woke, I was not dead, which surprised me. I lay in a chamber overlooking Varelian skyline. The energy column at the planet's center glowed with calm brilliance. The door opened. Aileron entered. She looked different. Still powerful. Still commanding. But the galaxy no longer swirled chaotically in her eyes. Now it moved in harmony. You survived, she said quietly. Yeah. Annoying habit. She approached slowly. The bond remains. I figured. I can feel you, she admitted. Try not to use that to spy on my embarrassing thoughts. A faint smile touched her lips. The heart is stable. The planet thrives. Good. She stopped beside me. For the first time in centuries. I do not feel alone inside it. There it was. The truth. Not fleets. Not dominion. Not conquest. She ruled everything. But she had no equal. Until now. You said you needed one simple thing, I murmured. Her eyes met mine. Yes. And she stepped closer. Her voice dropped to something no subject had ever heard. I needed someone who did not fear me. The city lights shimmered beyond the window. You are not my subject, she continued. You are not my subordinate. She extended her hand. You are my equal. I took it. And what does that make me? I asked. Her gaze softened fully. It makes you the one being in this galaxy who stands beside me, not beneath me. Outside, the heart of Varelian pulsed, steady and strong, not because of power, not because of control, but because of connection. The most powerful woman in the galaxy had commanded armadas, conquered stars, and reshaped civilizations. And in the end, she had needed one simple thing. Not a weapon, not a fleet, not a throne, just someone willing to stand with her in the fire. Me. And this time, I wasn't going anywhere. End of story.